Today, we're going to be comparing Apex Trader Funding, TopStep, and Myfunded Futures. I'm going to show you the good and the bad, and we're going to start off looking at Apex. Now, Apex, as a pro, is always having sales. Right now, they have 80% off, and you can pass in as little as 1 day. If you want to go ahead and take advantage of that, I do have a affiliate link in the description box down below. But here, if we look at some of the pros, you can receive 100% of the first 25,000 per account, then 90% thereon. Now, this could be a pro or a con. You can get 2 payouts per month. However, this is different than a lot of prop firms. Number 3, you can trade full contract size in the evaluation in the funded accounts, meaning there is no scaling plan. Also right here, no scaling or failing by going over contract size. No daily drawdown limits, meaning you have your entire drawdown available to you. However, I'm going to show you how that's also a con here in a moment. You can trade during holidays. You can trade your normal day-to-day trading strategy or system during news. However, you cannot play the news event saying there's news coming out and jump in front of that. But if you have a setup that occurs right during a news event, you're not going to be penalized. No cap on maximum payout. 1-step evaluation process. Simply hit your profit objective without hitting the drawdown. Real-time data included. That's very simple. However, one of the biggest pros is the fact that you can have up to 20 PA accounts at the same time. So simple math would be, so here's how that's such a benefit. Let's say you got 20 accounts and you're only averaging $200 per day per account. That is a total of $4,000. And that along with the big sales that Apex has to offer is one of the big reasons that a lot of traders flock to Apex. However, in some of the hidden rules within Apex, and a lot of traders get hung up on and they're upset about, one of them being dollar cost averaging. And what that means is you're not allowed to add more than one time if the trade is in a negative position. So if you put on a trade, it goes against you, boom, you add to it. That is okay, but you can't keep adding to it as it goes against you. Now you can add to it as many times as you would like as a trade is going in your favor. The other rule is what they consider the consistency, the 30% consistency rule. Now this rule really isn't that hard, right? I went ahead, I made a spreadsheet real quick. With the 30% consistency rule, if you're looking at the minimum balance that your account can have for withdrawal, you can see what the maximum amount you are allowed to make per day. Now, if you do make more than that, then you just have to make more before you can make your withdrawal. You do not fail based on that. So if you just go off the simple principle of simple base hits, the 30% consistency rule is simply not going to be a problem. Now, as we look at Apex's account sizes, we're going to look at the 50K account because that's the one I have 20 PA accounts at this moment. But the trailing threshold is also something that gets a lot of traders in problem. So Apex gives you your maximum $2,500 trailing drawdown. Now, a problem for this, or what could be a con from what some people see, is with a trailing drawdown, let's say that you're up $1,000 on a trade and it comes back and you get stopped out for break even. You actually lose $1,000 of your drawdown. Now, the way to handle this is in the evaluation phase, just simply don't go for big moves because the trailing drawdown goes away once you get a PA account, which is the account in which you get paid from. Once you've made over $2,500 plus an additional $100, the trailing drawdown is no longer there. So yes, it kind of stinks in the beginning if you're a trader that likes to have multiple contracts on and you try to hold out for a big runner, that would actually be a con for you. But if you're a trader that just simply goes for base hits, then the trailing drawdown really is not that big of an issue. Now, one last thing I forgot to mention with Apex, I want you guys to pay attention right here. Since 2022, Apex has paid out $253 million to traders. So if Apex's rules are so difficult, this number would not be as high as it is. We're gonna come over and take a look at TopStep. TopStep was the originator of this game. They've been around for a very long time. And yes, I believe TopStep is a very good company. Now, when you look at this, look at the difference. Payouts since 2020. So this is 4 years versus Apex's 2 years I just showed you. They've only paid out $40 million. And there's a simple reason for this. When you come down and you look at the rules on face value, it's like, wow, this looks pretty decent. All right. You get a profit target of 3,000. However, notice that your max loss, which is 2,000. Now, one thing that they don't show you within here is the fact that you have a daily loss limit as well. So if we look at some of the rules, you can see reach and maintain a profit target. So the consistency target, best day below 50% of total profits. So if we go back and we look at this, all right, you need to make $3,000. So at the best case scenario, you can pass this in 2 days. More realistic, it's going to be 3 days because of that consistency rule. But what that means is no one day should be greater than $1,500. So unlike Apex, they have a consistency rule in the evaluation, but they don't have the consistency rule once you get into the express funded account, where Apex does not have the consistency rule during the evaluation, but they have it once you're in the paid performance account. Then when you come over here and you look, do not hit or exceed your daily loss limit. Now, this is also different from Apex. Apex does not have a daily loss limit. And if we click right over here and we look at what the daily loss limits are for the 50K account, that means you only have a drawdown of $1,000 per day. And this is one of the reasons why TopStep's accounts are actually a little bit harder to pass. Now, what they do, one of the benefits that they do have is the end of the day trailing drawdown, meaning that if you're a trader that likes to have multiple contracts on, where you take a quick target and then you try to hold out for a runner, well, then you're not going to get affected by that trailing drawdown. You have what's called the end of the day drawdown. So in that scenario, if you're up $1,000 on a trade and you stop out for break even with TopStep, you do not lose any of your drawdown. And if you do breach this daily loss limit, then with TopStep, they're only going to lock you out of the account for one single day. The next day, you can go ahead and trade the account again. So it's kind of a way to kind of help stop you from going on tilt. Now, I have mixed emotions about that. Yes, I kind of think it's good where you don't go on tilt, but I don't want to be locked out, because a lot of times, right when you're around that threshold where your account gets locked, that's right when you come and you hit your stride in the market and you would have been able to get it back. And I think that's one of the reasons why TopStep is a little bit more difficult to pass. Now, let's talk about another pro with TopStep, and that is going to be their payout policy. Now, I do think they one up Apex on this, and that's going to be the fact of you only have to have 5 winning days of $200. So if you make $200 for 5 days in 1 week, then theoretically you can get a payout once per week. That is definitely a benefit of TopStep. Remember, with Apex, you can only get 2 payouts per month. And I've been looking to add a second prop firm, to trade along with Apex, because in my ideal situation, I'd like to be able to get a payout every single week. So the weeks I'm not receiving a payout from Apex, I'd like to receive a payout from a second prop firm. And you guys are going to see at the end of this video who the second prop firm is that I'm going to pick. Now, with TopStep, they do have what's called a scaling plan. Now, the scaling plan is not affected in the evaluation phase. However, when you come over and you get into the funded account, and this is another thing I'm not really fond of. I get why they're doing it, but I'm not really fond of it. And that is, if your account balance is below $1,500, you can only trade 2 contracts. Now, if you want to be able to trade that 5 lot size, then you must have over $2,000 of profit in the account. Now, you can look at it twofold. One, it's good because they're not giving you full reign to max port your account with and potentially blow it up. And they're kind of, trying to rein you in a little bit. But at the same time, do I really want to be, pulled back where, I don't have the maximum, where I'm not able to trade the full contract size in which the program allows me? Now, as we come over and look at the third one, Myfunded Futures, they're a newer firm out there. I do like how the back end of the website looks. And when we come over and we look at, the plans. Now, at first, it may look a little bit confusing. We're going to go right over to the 50K account. You might say, Mike, what's the difference between the starter plan and the expert plan? Well, with the starter plan, you can only trade 3 contracts, and you do have a daily loss limit, where in the expert plan, you don't have a daily loss limit, but you look at your trailing max drawdown. So this is the end of the day drawdown, similar to what TopStep has. They only give you $2,000, but you have to make $4,000. That's $1,000 more than what you have to make in TopStep. If you choose the starter plan, however, then you only have to make $3,000, which is the same as Apex and TopStep, but you can only trade a max of 3 contract size. That's the least amount of contracts out of both of the firms that we've already talked about. Then they do have a daily loss limit of $1,200. Again, that's $200 more than TopStep. However, Apex gives you the whole $2,500 drawdown to where you can just simply blow the account in one single day. Then you have a trailing max drawdown into the day, meaning your total drawdown is no more than $2,500. Now, the $2,500 drawdown is $500 more than TopStep. It's the same as Apex, but it's the end of the day drawdown, not trailing like Apex. And again, that is a pro out here with Myfunded Futures. So if you're trying to compare in terms of which is going to be easier to pass, TopStep, Myfunded Futures, or Apex, I think Apex is the easiest. Then I think Myfunded Futures is probably going to be the second easiest, only because you get a little bit more drawdown than what you get with TopStep. Now, you are handicapped of the contract size you can trade. Now let's talk about one of the benefits with the starter plan. Now, if you look at the starter plan, all right, you have the potential for weekly payouts. And that's one of the things I'm looking at for a secondary prop firm. I really wanted to like take profit trader. But one of the problems with take profit trader was if you breached your daily loss limit, then you simply you busted the account. That is not true with TopStep, and that also is not true with Myfunded Futures. So I like that on that front. Also, in the new benefits of the new starter account, there is no buffer zone for withdrawals. So in the event that you have a 50K account, all you have to do is have 5 profitable days of at least $100 each. That's actually better than TopStep. TopStep, you have to have $200 per day to be able to request a payout. So you can make as little as $500 and be able to request a payout. Now, if you look at this, you can get payouts per week. Now, if you look at this though, the max that you can get after 5 winning days, they do cap you at $1,200, but still per account, that is essentially $4,800 you can withdraw per month if you're able to meet all four payouts per month. And again, with Apex, they limit your payout to $2,000 per account per payout. So with Apex, you can request $4,000 per month. With Myfunded Futures, you have the opportunity at first to be able to request $4,800. After 30 profitable trading days, then they try to move you up into a live account. So if you're a trader that wants to trade in the live account, I don't really see the big deal live or live sim. As long as you get paid, I don't really care either way. Now, they do have a consistency rule similar to Apex. Apex had a 30% consistency rule where Myfunded Futures has a 40% consistency rule. So that's a little bit better than Apex on that front. If you look at the price is only $80. Now, as we're speaking about price, let's go back to their pricing page real quick. And there's something that I want to show you guys with their pricing page. All right. One, if you have to get a reset, well, it's cheaper than what the account is. That is different than TopStep, and depending on the sale that Apex has, that could vary as well. Now, the one thing that really sets Myfunded Futures apart is once you pass, there is no activation fee. So if you've ever traded with Apex, you know, once you pass, then once you sign the PA agreement, you have to pick either a monthly data fee or a lifetime data fee. I always opt for the lifetime data fee myself. With TopStep, with the 50K account with TopStep, then you have to pay $150 activation fee. And you want to, kind of think about that as the total cost in each of the programs. Now, up front, you are going to pay a little bit more at $80 per month, but if you pass on the first or second or even third attempt, then Myfunded Futures ends up being cheaper. If it takes you 10 times to pass, then Myfunded Futures are going to be a little bit more expensive. And that's why you really want to figure out which of these prop firms best meet your criteria. I'm now going to be trading with a second prop firm. And one of the reasons that I'm also going to choose Myfunded Futures after working with another trader this week, that he actually showed me this. When I sign up for Myfunded Futures, guess what? I can log into NinjaTrader via Trade of 8, and I can trade both of those accounts at the same time. So theoretically, I can get 10 Myfunded Futures accounts with my 20 Apex funded accounts where I can have 30 trades firing off at the same exact time, and I can stagger my payouts between the multiple prop firms. Now, if you guys want to take advantage of Myfunded Futures, I do have an affiliate link in the description box down below. And if you use the promo code Mike at checkout, you can save an additional 5% off. Now, let's talk about one last con with Myfunded Futures, and that's going to be the fact they don't have very good documentation showing you how to set up the accounts. Now, normally, if you trade with Apex, TopStep, or a lot of the other prop firms, you basically can pick a Rhythmic account and then log into NinjaTrader. With Myfunded Futures, it's a little bit different. And if you watch this next video right here, I'll show you exactly how to go ahead and set up the account for NinjaTrader.